Wait till he get a belt.
Yeah.
He ain't did nothing in the welterweight today.
You
When
have
he get
did
a belt,
nothing.
when he
You
get a
have
belt,
did
you want to
You
go
have
over
did
there. Keith Thurman want to go over there, and now y'all want to say, "Oh, I ain't fought nobody," but I got a belt now, so why?
Okay. Sean Porter got a belt too.
So now
Sean Porter got a belt too. Sean Porter. So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out? So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out?
So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out? So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out?
Who mans is this? Get him the fuck out of here.
So what do I do, YouTube? It's your boy King David in this thing, and I'm back at y'all again with another video. Okay, so before we get going with the video, man, y'all know what to do. Go ahead, hit the like button, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe one time for your boy, so we can continue to grow like we need to grow on this channel. You know what I mean? Alright, so y'all see what the title of the video is, man. According to a tweet put out there by Mike Coppinger, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford may still be negotiating for a fight this coming May. Let me go ahead and read y'all the tweet real quick. Check it out. The tweet reads, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford talks are reportedly still going on in the background at present. It's claimed that there's a remote possibility it could happen next, but Spence versus Thurman remains far more likely as things stand, according to Mike Coppinger. All right. Okay, so the first thing that enters my mind when I see this article is, okay, there's a glimmer of hope. There's a glimmer of hope that the fight may actually happen. There's a bit of a glimmer of hope. Okay, the fact they negotiating. All right, cool. There's a glimmer of hope that the fight may happen. But then right afterwards, reality sets in, right? Reality sets in, and I start thinking about the fact that Errol Spence already petitioned the WBC and the WBA in order to get an extension for the WBA on the WBA side, but petitioned the WBC to have a bout with Keith Thurman at 154 pounds, right? I remember details like that, and it whips me right back into reality. I remember that Errol Spence told Bud he needed to take the easy route first, and as a result, engaged in a bunch of meaningless, useless fights prior to taking on a Terence Bud Crawford. Engaged in a Mikey Garcia fight for no belt. Engaged in a Danny Garcia for no belt, but told Bud Crawford to get a belt. I remember that Errol Spence fought Yordenis Ugas after paying standing on the step-aside money in order to get Ugas in the ring when Bud Crawford was a free agent, willing and able to make the fight happen. I remember all these details that took place between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and it snaps me right back into reality, right? Because the fact of the matter is this: Errol Spence on every occasion, at every turn, has shown that he wants zero smoke with a Terence Bud Crawford. Zero smoke. And when I mean zero smoke, I mean zero smoke. Every excuse you can think of in the book, Errol Spence has come up with as to why he can't fight a Terence Bud Crawford. And the fact that these dudes may be talking in the background means absolutely nothing to me. It means absolutely nothing to real boxing fans, because we got to see it to believe it, right? We got to see it to believe it. I can't believe Errol Spence when he tells me he's going to spin the block, but the next fight is Keith Thurman. I can't believe Errol Spence when he tells me he never fight Keith Thurman, but his next fight is Keith Thurman. I can't believe Errol Spence when he said he wanted to collect all his belts on his side of the street for the last 4 and 5 years, but he's already left the weight class and moved up to 154 pounds. I can't believe a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? And although it's not Errol Spence reporting this information directly, or Team Errol Spence, it's Mike Coppinger, and Mike Coppinger is only going to report what he hears, right? At the end of the goddamn day. So, you know, this is just, you know, honestly and truly, bro, I believe that this is just news that's put out there in order to promote the Thurman versus Spence fight, right? At the end of the day, they want fans to be excited about Thurman versus Spence. They want fans to buy that fight in anticipation that the next fight is going to be the Terence Crawford fight. That's all this looked like to me. All right. I don't believe for one second that these dudes are really negotiating with a Terence Bud Crawford, because first of all, I mean, they started off the whole negotiation wrong by submitting that trash ass deal in the first place, right? You send Bud Crawford a deal with 35%, even though Mikey, Danny, Sean, Ugas all got more than 35%. You send Bud a deal with no guarantee, even though Mikey, Sean, Danny, Ugas all got a guarantee in their fights. You send Bud Crawford a deal with no transparency, right? Then you make a correction to no transparency, and then you send him a deal that has him having no approval over expenses. And we already know Max Kellerman told us this.
There's no such thing as the net. It's all the growth. I mean, certainly if you don't have oversight of the books, right? Approving expenses, or certainly at least knowing where all the money's going, no one would ever agree to a net. The fact that Crawford's you work off the gross. But if you're working off the net, then certainly if what you're reporting is accurate, then Crawford would be out of his mind not to insist on that. And you're telling me that that's what's holding it up, that Al Heyman, who's advising Errol Spence, is not giving Terence Crawford oversight over expenses or giving him transparency to the books, of the books. He's not letting him take a look at the books. And that's why Crawford won't sign? Because that sounds to me, Mike, like a duck.
A duck, Mike, a duck. Crawford would be crazy, absolutely out of his mind not to insist on that, right? So, I mean, first and foremost, man, if this is ever gonna be real, first of all, we need a better offer than no guarantee, 35%, no approval over expenses. Now, the PBC gonna have to do better than that. But the question is can the PBC even do better than that? Because we got guys like Adrian Broner saying it.
I ain't took no check from this. Now he'll tell me, okay, this what you making, da-da-da. I ain't took no check in the last six fights. I know I got money. Where
so money? You're saying that this is money. Now he's not loaning you. This is money. It's your money.
This is my money.
Right. He's helping you not spend it all. Is that what it is?
This is my money. So right. I'm like, I know I got money, but.
And then you hear about stuff like this from Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Frustrations between Wilder and PBC over money for proposed Andy Ruiz fight. Like, frustrations? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your top guy in Deontay Wilder, the biggest seller on PBC, is having frustrations with money. Wilder ain't getting paid. And the thing about it is, if Wilder ain't getting paid, then ain't nobody else getting paid. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford to pay your top guy on your stable, how the hell else, how you gonna pay everybody else on your stable, right? Y'all gotta make it make sense. So it's like, so does the PBC even have the capacity to even make the fight, even if they wanted to, which has been a lot of evidence that proves that they don't even want to, right? So, as far as this whole thing with these supposed talks going on between Bud and Earl, I just don't believe it at the end of the day. If I'm Terence Bud Crawford, I'm not entertaining any talks from Errol Spence Jr. I'm not at this particular point in time. I think when Bud Crawford back in the day, when he said he moved on from Errol Spence and he was done with that fight, I think he had the right idea. I think at this point, man, this is just a waste of time on behalf of Terence Bud Crawford. And he need to move on to bigger and better things at the end of the day. Alexis Rojas, Virgil Ortiz, man, get them dudes in the ring and then move up to 54. And then see what's going on at 54, man. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, it seems to me, according to all the years, there's years of history of excuse after excuse on behalf of Errol Spence to back up the fact that he don't want to fight with a Terence Bud Crawford. And then you got all these financial issues with the PBC, backed by the trash deal that they sent Bud Crawford to begin with. It's just, come on, bro. Don't nobody got time for this bull ass shit. But I at the end of the day, man, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. They just trying to promote this bogus ass Thurman versus Spence fight. That's what's happening next at the end of the day, right? And another thing, bro, Errol Spence probably ain't fighting it. After the Thurman fight, he probably ain't fighting again until 2024 if we really keeping it a buck. right? Because we know these Al Heyman niggas only fight one time in 2 years, right? We know these dudes only fight one time in 2 years. So you mean to tell me this gonna be the first year that Errol Spence is gonna fight twice in a year, right? This gonna be the first year that Errol Spence is gonna fight twice in a year. And not only is he gonna fight twice in 1 year, but he's gonna fight one fight at 54 and the next fight at 47 in the biggest fight of his career against a Terence Crawford, a fight that he won't be favored to win in. Come on, y'all gotta make this shit make sense, man. But let me know what y'all thoughts is, bro. Do y'all believe these talks, these quote unquote talks between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., man? Hit it up in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button on your way out. But until next time, bro, I'ma holla at y'all. Peace.